guys, Cal here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 10, the fight we've all been waiting for, the Todoroki versus Izuku fight. And let me tell you, right off the bat, I'm gonna say this, art and animation in this episode was fucking mind-blowing. Like, honestly, I think Bones, Bones, I think the one thing I've learned from Bones Entertainment, at least from the one thing I've learned from Bones as an animation company is that they really know how to balance out their animation budget because because I've rarely had a problem with Bones' animation. I mean, there might be the occasional flop here and there in the animation with the anime they make, but honestly, even then it's few and far between. So yeah, the art and animation in this episode fucking amazing. Like Bones is one of a lot of people talk about Madhouse when they talk about top quality animation. I think they need to. I think people that like top quality animation, art animation, need to look closer at Bones. To be honest with you, because yeah, they're just amazing, honestly. But let's get into the episode itself. The one thing I think this episode did good at is just throughout the entirety of the episode. I think it showed Izuku's true nature as a hero because the main thing that was going on throughout this episode is of course the Izuku versus Izuku and Todaroki just basically going at each other in this fight. But the thing is that throughout the entirety of the fight, you can see that as Todoroki's fighting, he's having a very hard and difficult time in dealing with the demons from his past, like everything that happened with his mother and the constant hatred he has towards his father. All these things were just kind of were piling up in his mind, even while he was beating on Izuku. And yeah, the thing is, even though in the end even though Izuku was in worse shape than Todoroki, he was still technically he Todoroki himself, he was basically losing that fight simply based on the fact that he refused to accept his fire side. And that's another thing that was good in this episode, is that the biggest theme I think in this whole fight is the accepting the power you have as your own, and not letting the harmful bonds in your life weigh. Just let those harmful bonds control you, because again, he was letting his father's influence just like say, look, I hate you, Dad. I'm not gonna use your quirk ever, like ever. I'm gonna fight using mom's quirk and mom's quirk alone. But like Izuku said, his just because he got the quirk from his father, it doesn't. The quirk is his alone. It isn't anyone else's but his. And the fight just proved is a challenge towards him accepting his quirk. And like I said, Izuku is just shown as a true hero for that, because he's able to inspire people and bring them out of that sort of just deeply depressed and deeply depressed and deeply depressed and almost and disturbed mindset. He was able to accept Todoroki. He was able to basically accept Todoroki for who he was, and not let his and not judge him, but based on who his father is. So yeah, like Izuku is a true hero just because he's able to, just because he's able to kind of naturally bring people out of these, naturally accept people for who they are, and not who they're. And that's another thing, like and you see, that's another thing that I think the My Hero Academia creators are doing correctly is you see, the one thing about this fight is and the whole thing, like I know this whole thing of the main character bringing the hero out of bringing his friends or all these characters out of despair. It does have a similar bring out of despair and distrust and whatnot. It is a common theme in anime. I'm not gonna lie that, but well, to me, I think it's done. the whole themes this whole fight it's very similar to a lot of other shonen who've done this, just bringing the antagonist and anti-hero or whatever out of this despair and bringing him over to the hero side. It is something that is kind of common in shonen every once in a while, but I think My Hero Academia does it well because the creators know that there's a certain area in which to use it naturally, and it didn't feel forceful at all, to be honest with you. So yeah, I really liked it. Also, again, I another thing in this episode, I gotta give props to Bakugo in this episode because Bakugo during the entire time, like when I think it was Kirishima who approached Bakugo and was talking about their fight and how Bakugo would probably rip him apart. I gotta give props to Bakugo again for acknowledging his, like we saw in the last episode, we got a little hint of Bakugo's weakness, and in this episode Bakugo is actually acknowledging his weakness in this one. He said and how basically the costume he created for himself was the costume he created, its sole purpose was pretty much to circumvent or delay the weakness he had. So and like he so yeah, just more development on Bakugo, even though Todoroki and Izuku were of course were the main focus of the fight. They're just another spotlight on Bakugo, showing just how smart he is by knowing well enough that he needed to design his costume or to circumvent his own weakness. So yeah, I gotta give props on that. And okay, anime only. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys, but let's just say that in a way is actually a little bit of a hint for something that's gonna happen with Izuku down the line. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, and the whole thing that Bakugo was talking about, I feel it was in a way a bit of commentary on the fight going on in front of him, because in this episode again we see Izuku's obvious weakness of only being able to use one for all a certain number of times if he just uses his finger flick or whatever technique, and then Todoroki only being able to use his ice side for a certain period until his moves start getting sluggish, because as we know, when you use if you're if ice touches your body, you start to freeze up and whatnot. So it's good to see that in a way that the Horikoshi and the creators, that they never truly are forgetting to they're never truly forgetting to kind of give spotlight to the weaknesses of these quirks, because it otherwise people would just seem too OP or whatnot. Also, if I ever did have any problems with this episode, honestly, it was the censorship. Only people who read the manga will understand this, really. But there was when Izuku's hands and body were getting banged up and shit. I guess I kind of saw this coming, but in a way that they definitely did a bit of censorship with Izuku's injuries, because I remember reading in the manga that those injuries were a lot more severe, honestly. But I guess it's kind of one of those things that you kind of have to expect with anime. They're always going to do a little bit of censorship in compared to what's in the manga, honestly. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like I wish it would have been more impactful if they left a little bit more of that of that detail of the details of Izuku's injuries in. But yeah. Also, one other thing to note in this episode: Endeavor, shut the fuck up! Like seriously, like when Todoroki was finally decided to relent and use his fireside, and Endeavor just went on that whole fucking rant about how, yes, you are my son, you can surpass me and be the number one hero. I'm like, Endeavor, please shut the fuck up! Right now you're an irrelevant fuck who doesn't even matter in this whole situation. It's Todoroki versus Izuku. You don't matter, dumbass. But yeah, guys, that's that's pretty much my review, guys. Again, an awesome episode. Like this episode was far and none one of my favorite episodes to was like again Ochiko and Bakugo fight amazing. This one fantastic, amazing. Both these past couple episodes have been amazing right now. Like and it is on and yeah, it's My Hero Academia season 2 on fire. I am definitely owning this the moment it comes. I'm definitely owning this season the moment it comes out. I mean, I already own season 1, so yeah. But yeah, guys, that's my review. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.